final, maybe, probably final Isaiah Thomas show. We're here in the actual Scoop offices where we wanted to come in here and shoot the very last show in person together.
Right.
Well, I don't know if you need to do your thing.
Got you.
There you go. Isaiah, so good to be with you here in the office. You put this table together yourself. I appreciate that.
Always. Got you.
He didn't. I had to pay somebody $125 to do that.
I could have done it for free.
He didn't even help me lift it up. It was kind of...
This is my first time here.
No, but welcome to the office. And really, I just wanted to do this here because there's some things behind you.
Yep.
That we're going to talk about. I mean, really, you kind of helped build this place. And I wanted to bring you here and thank you for everything that you've done this year for us and the work that you put in. And we tried to make it as little as possible, but I know you made a huge impact on a lot of fans out there with this show. And a huge impact on us at Sooner Scoop, helping us get NIL stuff going because fans want that. I mean, they want players to get opportunities to make money. So the next batch of players, can come in and have experiences at Oklahoma where they know they can, put some money in their pockets, and we're happy to do it. So, and thanks to the fans, thanks to you guys for watching and supporting that. Now, let's get to the nitty gritty.
Right.
You've opted out of the bowl game.
Correct.
You are going pro. The team's out there practicing right now. Like, let me ask you, is it hard? Is it hard knowing that the team is out there practicing and you're not with them?
Yeah, definitely harder than what people may think. People may just think I just, opted out and just going to move on and train where I'm going to train at and just not talk to the team and just go ahead and just watch them when they play. But now it's harder because, obviously I still keep in touch with them every day. D-line, linebackers, all the offensive guys. And just, I still ask questions about like how practice went, how the workouts and stuff because, I just – was in a position to where, opting out was the best situation for myself and my family and my future. So decided to make that decision. It was a lot harder than what people may have thought. I talked to coaches, family, friends, all that. So it was tough, but it was what's best for me and, for my future. But also, I know it's what, it was the best decision I had to do.
I mean, you guys, as players, you're getting advice, as the season goes along. You know that you have certain interests from the NFL in certain teams and things like that. Not that you have to share that. But behind the scenes, knowing that stuff goes on, like I have to think like it doesn't affect the way you played, and it didn't this year because, the flu affected you more in the last game than anything. But I think people don't understand the interactions that you have with, people on that next level, and the kind of feedback you get as you go along. Like it's kind of omnipresent. Like
it is.
The NFL, the next level, like people say, well, how can you skip out on a bowl game? But there's so much waiting for you that is there.
Exactly.
Well, let me ask you this. No doubt. I mean, no one's opting out if you're in a playoff game, right?
Right. Yeah. Not at all. And it was just, the circumstances that presented itself with the coaching changes and the game. And just like you said, it's like omnipresent, the stuff that we know that's at the next level and the stuff that we hear, the stuff that I know, what the scouts are saying at the next level about me. But like you said, it didn't affect my play, definitely in a negative way, but more so, motivated me to get to where I'm at right now. And now I'm trying to, make the most of that opportunity by opting out and, getting a head start on that.
How hard was it just to decide? I mean, were you – because I think, we went through the season and we talked about it a little bit, and it seemed like that, you were kind of really considering, playing in your final game. But
Most
then
definitely.
I guess with everything that happened with the coaching change,
Exactly.
that changed everything for you.
Yeah, that had a huge impact on it. And like you said, because I know we talked about it, I definitely considered strongly playing in this last game and whatnot. So it was definitely a hard decision. As you see, we had Nick Benito opt out, Perion Winfrey, Brian Asamoah, and I was the last one of the four to opt out. Because I'm not saying it was easier for them to make the decision, but I just needed a little more time to make that decision. And ultimately, I made the decision I made. But a lot went into that. Initially, honestly, starting with the coaching changes and how all that went down.
What did you think about just kind of this year and kind of it's almost like your exit interview? I feel like NBA teams have exit interviews all the time. Like, what was this experience like for you in terms of the Isaiah Thomas show and going through that this year?
No, it was cool. It was fun because, like, I'm a people person, man. Like, I love interacting. I love talking. I like people getting to know me. It was fun. And like you said, the fans love this kind of stuff. They want players to profit off their name, image, and likeness. And with me being able to do this, like, I had other opportunities that come forth, prior to this. And, I just, ignored it or just turned it down because, it just wasn't for me. I didn't want to I'm not saying it wasn't for me, but I didn't want to reach out to every single thing that came out to me. But when you DM'd me and presented me with the opportunity, we went on ahead first, and now where we are now, and opened up the opportunity for players to come to do this. And like you said, if there's ever a reunion or something, I could be the guy to speak up there and give the speech about how I started this whole thing off. So it's fun.
I told him that basically he's going to be our spokesperson moving forward. So
be ready.
We have the big NIL summit. He's the keynote speaker.
Oh, so. Yeah, I'll be there.
Let me ask you, now that you're a couple of weeks past it, how do you feel about Lincoln Riley now?
Nothing, no hard feelings against him at all. Because I mean, he vouched for me when I was going through stuff. He was always there for me. He was a big reason on why I also got team captain. Players voted for me as a team captain, but coaches also get a little, they don't get a vote, so to speak, but they always get their 2 cents in who players should lead the team or whatever. And outside of that, I mean, he's always gave me an opportunity, never gave up on me, uplifting. My start of my career wasn't the best, and when I started to get all the notoriety and attention because of the success I had on the field, Coach Riley and Coach Grinch were always the first two to always vouch for me on how hard I practiced. Like prior to last season, if you go back and find it, Coach Riley was the first to say that I was the player that was the most improved on the team that emerged. And, it led to that 2020 season that I had. So nothing negative against him. It was just the way he left. If I'm being honest, I mean not that he left, but just how he left.
I mean, you soak that in, and I mean, ESPN. We talked about that. Had the they retweeted or took a screen grab.
Yeah.
Lincoln. He told us that last week. When he called them USC the Mecca of college football.
Right.
By the way, you never reacted to this. Did you see the in-game thing that you were on with Switzer?
Yeah, I did see that. I seen it on Twitter. And
funny.
The whole Avengers thing. Then it was Barry Switzer and me.
Eddie was featured on that as well. Eddie was behind the camera today. So. No, that was. I mean, I do really enjoy the way that the fans kind of rallied. Yeah. I mean, Brent Venables at the airport and how insane that crowd was. But it was like, I don't know, was it surprising to you in a way to kind of see kind of just the spirit of the OU fan base and how they bounce back like that and really almost, it's hard to describe exactly what that emotion was, but it's like they really kind of came back with a vengeance. And I think there was some revenge in there. There's a little anger. I mean, there's a little bit of everything, but it was impressive. It's been impressive.
Yeah, rightfully so. Because like you said, it kind of surprised me. Because everyone could have dwelled on it about how Coach Riley left, and all the attention I was getting on it, the comment that I made on Instagram that went everywhere and stuff like that. And fans could have just sat at their houses just disappointed that Riley left, but. They rallied together when, Venables landed. They were there hours before he landed. I mean, I didn't even know about it. I don't know how they knew about it. The next thing it's like, Coach Riley leaving, like it's like it never even happened, because, the ceremony that he had and all the attention and all the, all the people that came and rallied together to support him. It was phenomenal. It's just something that, not necessarily surprised me because of, Sooner Nation's not, the best, but more so because of what happened a week before that.
What were your impressions? Like, you got to sit in the meeting when Brent was introduced. What was that like? Kind of what was said? How did everybody react to that?
Oh, it was uplifting. It was inspiring as well. Just someone coming from a top premier, team in Clemson and, coming to OU, getting all the love and attention back. Then when he came up there on the stage, first thing he said was, he's here for a reason, and he didn't necessarily say that, the coaches make OU. He reiterated what Bob said, the players is what makes OU. And, he just said he's not here to change anything, but just, increase, the successes that OU has had. And he said other stuff that was just inspiring and motivating, like, wow, like, I would have loved to play for this guy, so not taking away anything from Grinch or Riley, but, he was great. It was phenomenal. I loved being there.
Was there ever a point where you worried about, like, the future of this program, like the immediate future? Like, you felt like, oh, my God, how many guys are going to leave?
Yeah.
Or, how many people are going to transfer? Who's going to, just not be here? Was there a point where you felt like, oh, gosh, this thing could go really bad?
Oh, 100%. I definitely did, being honest, because, when Riley left, it was like a domino effect. Coaches, went with him. Players started to enter the transfer portal. Guys like Austin Stogner and Jaden Hazelwood, the East, and obviously Spencer Rattler, stuff like that. And you start to think to yourself, like, dang, like, how bad could this get? Like, like, what can go wrong is going wrong.
Yeah.
Then, with Brent Venables coming, it changed the whole thing. It was like a total 180. Recruits started coming back. I know there was a linebacker that recommitted today. that was great to see. Then another quarterback. So, it's just great because I keep up with all that stuff, recruits and all that. They just probably think that we ignore it, but no, we see that. I'm not going to retweet it, but I'm going to see it. But no, it was like a huge 180. It's like we never, like nothing ever happened. So, OU is going to be just fine.
We could talk about it. There's no reason you can't talk about it. Have you met Kobe McKenzie? Because he's been here quite a few times.
I have met him. I met him at the barbecue. I just just a what's up type of me. But other than that, I never really got the chance to talk to him. He's a big dude though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big dude. But
and then you add into that the quarterback committing.
Yep.
So with Spencer leaving, you wondered. Let me ask you, what do you think is going to happen with Caleb? Do you think he stays?
I think personally he does stay. With the offensive coordinator that Venables hired and Levy, I don't think why not. Obviously I'm not Caleb. I don't know what really goes behind closed doors in the quarterback room or offensive coordinator room. So whatever's best for him, I'm a supporter obviously. But I think, in my opinion, I think he will stay, and I think he should stay.
I wouldn't think he'd be practicing or preparing for the bowl.
Exactly. Yeah. That was another reason why, and I think OU, strategically, posted him as well to let people know like Caleb is here, Caleb is playing. So yeah.
In terms of, seeing your coaching staff kind of lose their job out of this deal, how, I know Tibbs has got a new job at SMU, but how tough is it just seeing those guys, kind of what they went through?
Oh, yeah, that was tough, particularly like Coach Kane and Coach Tibbs. Those two guys right there really got me to where I am. Coach Kane, these last 2 seasons, was like unreal with what he did with me and my, change in my career. And Coach Tibbs, I was his first commit here, actually, because he came in that 2016 team with players that were already here. Then his first recruiting class was 2017, and that was his first commit. So, I thanked him for sure for, giving me the opportunity to be here and let me, blossom into the flower that I became. And Coach Kane, obviously finishing that job, molded me to what I ended up being. So, those two right there really, hurt the most. Not because, that they're gone, but just not because they're not going to be here. I'm not going to be here next year anyways, but it's just seeing them in a different, coaching shirt on, it just, hurt a little bit.
Let me ask you this, because fans, and I don't want to pick at scabs, but
yeah.
Fans go back and they look at that Baylor game,
Yeah.
and they look at having 2 weeks to prepare for that game
Right.
and the way it played out. Like, do you look back at it now? Does the team look back at it and say, okay, was Lincoln Riley all in with us at that point?
Oh yeah, I'm 100% honest with you right now. Yeah, players, we've had that conversation after Riley left. We were in that locker room, and when he
was he different?
From my perspective, no, because Riley, he was an offensive-minded coach, so he was mainly around the offensive guys. He would talk to us as a team as always, but I just never really seen nothing too different with him. But from the offensive standpoint, now that they look back at it, they were like, yeah, man, the calls that he were calling or something like that, or just different things that were different about him prior to the games before that. Up until that point, looking back at it, they were kind of like realizing like, okay, something was a little off, a little different.
What's next for you? What's you're going to be training for the NFL, I know, but lay out kind of what happens from here. The team prepares for bowl game, but you go straight in to start, preparing for a NFL combine, NFL draft. Yeah,
I fly out to California. I start training. I'll be down there for a little while, then I'll be back here for around New Year's and that Christmas time. Then I'm back to training, for a bowl game. For right now, I'm in the East-West Shrine Bowl invite up there in Las Vegas. So I'll be up there when that time comes. And then after that, training some more, come down here for Pro Day, Combine, if fortunately enough to get in that. Then, the draft. And that's like really my layout of what I'll be doing, just, spearheading this whole opportunity, trying not to let it go to waste.
I've always thought it fascinating because you literally, it's become this thing where people go out. You're not training to be a better football player. You're training to be better at the combine. You're training to be as good as you can at the standing broad jump or the vertical or your 40. I know a lot goes into that. What are the areas that you think that you can improve on the most? Is it, shuttle drills? Is it what is it, do you think, that needs the most work?
I probably just say, change of direction drills, like the shuttle drill, the 5-10-5, but I think the other stuff will take care of itself, like the bench press test, I think, the 40-yard dash, I think that'll be something I can handle pretty well when, comes to training, getting to the best speed that I can get to. And outside of that, just drill work, just hands, off pass rushes. Where my hands should be set at on the run game, certain situations like that in certain areas. Obviously all areas I can improve on, but if I could think off the top of my head, those specific areas right now.
I got to think, Pro Day, for you, you're going to have a lot of defensive line coaches here with you and Perry on and Nick.
Yeah.
So it should be a pretty good showcase that day.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. You know, Perrion can show off his size and the athleticism and speed. And Nick's real flexible, can bend off the edge, and his get off is phenomenal. And me just being able to play inside and out, you know, I think it'll be fun. If I would have put my money on, I think all 32, teams would be out there. And it'll be a fun showcase for us to have because, we don't always have, the most, talent on the defensive side. So I think this year we can do a great job showcasing that.
How do you think, that you're going to look back on this year overall?
Yeah, I think I look back. I mean, the first thing I'm gonna think to myself is what could have been, because we started the year off 9-0. Then we had that bump in the road with Baylor. Then we won the next game. Then Oklahoma State game ended how that ended. And you just think to all the the games that those two particular losses. Like, man, like if we would have won one of those games or won out, then won the Big 12 championship. Right now I'll be at the house getting ready for practice, the next coming day or whatever. So that's the first thing I'll think to myself. But I'll be, grateful more than anything because, the guys I finished it off with, the experience, the year I had and also the year prior. So, I definitely wouldn't change anything.
Have you talked to any of the young guys that are scared for their lives because Schmidt's coming back?
Yeah, I was wanting to talk about Schmidt too because I had Schmidt my first semester here for about the first 5 or 6 months. I had him from that summer up until January when Benny Wiley came. So I had Schmidt for about 6 months, and oh my goodness, man, he's intense, man. So those young guys, I told them some stories. We were in a group chat bringing up some stories. Like Justin Burrows, he was here. He came in early, so he had Schmidt for a whole year. So, yeah, everyone had their stories. I mean, I got a story about him, man. That guy's intense, but, I mean, you know what you're getting out of him. I mean, every single day he's consistent. The consistent message, I mean, he won't change on you, like, not at all. I mean, you know what you
Were
get.
you ever late for practice?
Yes, I was, yeah. Yeah, I actually was. During the season, I was late. I had the developmental lift. The developmental lift starts at about 5:45. I woke up at 5:45. Oh, no. I was so late, I just walked to the facility. I was like, yeah. Finna get on this Stairmaster. He didn't even say nothing to me. He just pointed to the Stairmaster. Then I was on it. Then, I guess that was his way of taking it easy on you. So that was the only time I've been late with Smitty. Other than that, I mean, that was it. So I got it easy.
So you did an hour of Stairmaster and then you did your workout?
Yep, hour of Stairmaster, then did the workout. I was the only one in there. You make sure you get it out. Then, I mean, if you have meetings or anything, you'll do your meetings, but you're going to get that 60 minutes on the Stairmaster.
So you like that move? You like him coming back?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Nothing against Wiley, of course, because, I mean, he was here throughout my whole process of getting to where I'm at, too. But Smitty was definitely intense, and I mean, his track record doesn't disappoint either because, I mean, he was here with that national championship team, if I'm not mistaken, in 99, 2000. And then all the guys that he's had, all the athletes that he's had, from Trent Williams, Adrian Peterson, Gerald McCoy and stuff. And, I mean, everyone knows Smitty. Everyone knows what you're going to get out of him. So, I mean, I think it's a great move.
Eddie, would you like to tell Isaiah what you heard that Jerry Schmidt said the first time he walked into the gym?
Can I say what he said?
I'll bleep it out, yeah.
He said, get all this P90X out of here.
Now that's something he would say too. I'm telling you, everyone has a Smitty story. Even Coach Tibbs. I mean, Coach Tibbs told me when he was here that they had some conditioning, and Tibbs said that they had 4 trash cans at the corner of every end zone, and he was like wondering why. Then I mean, he was just like,
puking began.
Yep. Puking began. He said by like midway at the end of the workout, he said, "Oh, okay, I know why now." And he just said from then on, he just didn't ask questions. I mean, he asked Smitty why. He said, "You want to find out the hard way, or you just want to just finish the workout?" And he found out the hard way, sadly.
So did you ever just puke in the middle of a workout?
I did actually. Luckily, Smitty didn't see me though, because it was like we had like a water. I mean, Smitty's just not a tough guy. I mean, a bad guy where he gives you water and stuff like that. So it was during the water break, he was talking to one of the defensive linemen at the time, and he turned around and, oh my God, I puked my guts out. Boy, I'm talking eyes watering, everything. But outside of that, that was the only time.
Oh man.
Oh, Ronnie Perkins would puke a lot.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, he wouldn't. I mean, he didn't really get to have Smitty.
I see
but
him
he
being
just
like
puked
a guy that just puked and then just sloughed it
Yeah,
off. Like
yeah.
that's what he does. He
got
just
back in the
pukes and
workout,
then
yeah.
he goes back.
Yeah, like we would do the coaching stations in the winter. Oh my God, Ronnie was always the first to throw up all the time, but he would always finish though. So that's just who he is, though.
I mean, I don't know what else really. I mean, to ask you at this point. I mean, we've talked about so much stuff all season. Is there anything? I mean, that you want fans to know? Outside of things that you've talked about, or any parting message that you have for the fans?
I just want to say, thanks for always, being in my corner, supporting me from the start, because I know, like I said, I didn't have the best start to my career. I wasn't, the lucky guy who got to start as a true freshman or anything like that, or a bunch of playing time, but I stuck it out, and these guys stuck it out with me. I would always get on Twitter or, Instagram, and it was nothing but love and support. And then when I finally started playing to the way I was expected to play, I mean, these guys are right there in my corner. So, if anything, these guys deserve as much credit as I do because, I mean, they could have easily bashed me, been down on me. And, that people don't think we see everything, but, I mean, for the most part, we see a lot of the comments and, the stuff and the tweets or whatnot. We may not always interact with it just for, the purpose of, the profile that we have to uphold and stuff like that. But other than that, yeah, we see it. And these guys always had, great messages for me. So I just want to thank you guys for always being uplifting and honest with me. And so, I just really appreciate it.
All right. That's going to do it. Maybe the last time. I don't know. I'm sure that we'll catch up with Isaiah at some point. Definitely we'll be back here for your pro day.
Oh, yeah.
We want you coming by, seeing, how the office has changed.
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Maybe coming out. We'll have a little TV wall. Eddie will probably just be here with the Sixer, just, hanging out. Maybe sports betting will be in Oklahoma by then, and Eddie will just be in here screaming at the television, and we'll be live streaming it. Thank you so much. Good luck. I'll probably bother you through text every once in a while to see how you're doing.
Cool with me, yeah.
Man, really looking forward to watching your journey in the NFL and looking forward to pro day and hearing how things are going. And hopefully we'll catch up, here soon and update the world maybe on what's going on with you.
Oh, yeah,
I'm sorry we didn't get you a watch.
Yeah. Yeah, probably wasn't worth it then now that I think about it.
All right. Thanks so much, everybody. We will say goodbye for the last time for the Isaiah Thomas Show as we know it, right here on YouTube, brought to you by Soonerscoop.com.